practice number 2 with the live streaming. I've changed my location a little bit. I don't know if my service is better here or not. I've deleted the practice number 1. There's no reason to upload that. I wasn't saying anything specific or terribly important. The whole point of these practice live streams is to get ready for Wednesday's premiere. So now I'm out in the vehicle near Wi-Fi, but I think we're using my phone's Wi-Fi instead of the Wi-Fi that's available in the house. And I see one person is here. So again, if you can, type and say hey and whatever, I'd love to hear from you. This whole, getting this thing right is I've never done this before, so I'm trying very hard to get it right. I'm interested in whether you can hear me and if you can keep the connection and things like that. I was talking about gardening. What else was I talking about? Oh, we need unnamed prayer. Oh, good. Hey there. The more I sit still, the better. Cool to see you. Oh, thank you. All right, I'll try to hold still a bit. Do you have any questions? That's number 1. If you have me online, this is a really great time if you have Torah questions and stuff. Shalom, set apart. Brother Travis. Are you going to share what happened with you, Brother Travis? I'm waiting on that. And what I was trying to say is if you have any questions on Torah or off-grid living, alternative cooking methods, then now's a really good time to post those questions. And if you let me know if you can see me and hear me, that would be helpful to me too. I guess I could talk about the premiere a little bit, although I think since I put a description on the premiere, it's kind of self-evident. It's another one of the sort of, we're just talking and then we get on a subject and then Pastor and I, he's like, well, we should check that out. So I, Google it or Wikipedia page it. And the one on gold had some very interesting things. And in the meantime, I have done, oh, there you are, Brother Richard. I have done some more research into the Word to find out some stuff. Okay, you have a wisdom tooth that broke, and oh my goodness, the dentist appointment later this week is pretty painful. Didn't sleep much last night. Oh, okay, yeah, that stinks. Have you used any clove oil on that site? Because clove oil is really good for dental issues, and it's really good for numbing. I don't know if you probably already knew that, but that's my suggestion for you. And I'm really sorry to hear that. Wisdom teeth, they're nothing but trouble, aren't they? Okay, so back to the premiere. It is, oh, you do have it. Good. Excellent. Yeah. Whenever I have tooth pain, because I have some teeth on the left side that are kind of iffy, I get an actual clove, and I don't chew it because it's really hard, but I just kind of numb it until that area gets numb, and it lasts for a while. And did you lay hands on it, brother? I guess you probably did that too, but if you haven't yet, you might want to try that. Okay, back to the premiere. Anyway, it's about gold, and I've been looking into the Word too to find out more about the gold in the Word, and it is, it's discussed in more than one place, and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. So I don't think the Bible takes a definitive stand either way with gold. I think it sees it as we should see it, as just sort of an element that's around, and sometimes it's a benefit to your life, or it's being used in a beneficial way, and sometimes it's being stirred up in a cup and fed to you. Yeah, Richard, I wanted to ask you about you and your wife. How are you all doing? Is your wife feeling okay? Hey, can't be alone. Can never be alone. Even when I'm in a car, there's a pet out here that wants to come in. Ridiculous. Something else I've read about, and I haven't done a video on it, but I found it kind of interesting, was mini alpine goats. apparently it's a sort of new breed. And as you guys know, Alpine goats are a pretty standardized older breed, but they tend to be pretty large. Like the last ones I owned were French Alpine. Oh, Brother Richard, hallelujah. Give her a hug for me. I'm glad to hear that. Yay. Hallelujah, Father. Thank you. Thank you for helping my sister. Yeah, the Alpine goats have been around a really long time, and they're good milk goats. And the ones that I owned, someone gave me, were French Alpine, and they were enormous. They were the biggest goats I'd ever seen. And so when you get my age, like, you don't necessarily want a huge animal to deal with anymore. And that's why I ended up gifting my son with the ones that I was given, because he and his wife are young and still strong and fit. Oh, you bet, brother. Anytime. Anytime. Yeah, the goats. So my son had them, and then he's been having trouble with his goats. He's in a different area. He's up in southeastern Kansas, and some of his goats have been dying, and they're dying in similar circumstances. So he thinks they may be eating a plant up there or something that makes them sick. And we now just have dwarf goats, like pygmy goats, little guys. And I milk the one nanny, and she milks okay, but they're really more for meat. And one thing we found out about these pygmies is they will kid twice in 1 year, which is really unusual. Like the milk goats usually kid like springtime, and then they go into heat again in the fall. But these meat goats go into heat any time of the year. And so the one goat had 5 kids in 1 year. She had twins and then triplets, and the other one had 4. And then we gave one of their offspring to the Millennial Man and Neo-Hermitess. And her first kidding, she had triplets. That is unheard of in a dairy goat. Dairy goats, their first kid, usually one offspring. And then as they get a little bit older, then they go to twins. And when they're really older, like 9 or 10, and that's old for a nanny, they'll go to triplets. So we realized we have those kind of goats. Yes, pygmy goats are adorable. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Especially the babies. They look like little kittens when they're born. They're so small. Well, this mini Alpine is a male pygmy goat and a female doe. Yeah, that's a ton of babies. I mean, you're going to go from 2 goats to like 8 goats in 1 year. That's an incredible increase. But I think it's because they're a meat goat. And so the intention is you have a lot of meat on the hoof, so you can, eat a goat a week or something. I think that's probably the purpose behind the dwarf and the pygmy and the meat variety goats. Anyway, if you take the billy, that's a pygmy, and you cross it with a doe, that's a Alpine, then you get a smaller goat, but she bears milk like an Alpine goat would. And I thought, wow, that's fantastic. The pygmy goat does have milk, but she gives like a cup or 2. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. I'll give myself a thumbs up. Yeah, a mini Alpine will give enough milk, but she's only half the size. And they were very specific about it being that combination, a male pygmy, a female Alpine. So my son has the female Alpines. Millennial Man and I both have male goats. And so in the future, I'm going to try to maybe make that happen. To have a smaller goat that gives more milk. So that's kind of been happening. Does anyone have any questions? I wanted to say that again. If you have any questions on Torah or off-grid living while I'm online, this is a really good time for you to get that question to me. I don't intend on staying here very long. This was a practice for the premiere that's going to be on Wednesday night. And I think I'll be online maybe about 20 minutes. So I appreciate y'all dropping by. I really do. I just want to be able to come online on Wednesday and not have it be totally new to me and then me mess up in some way. I don't want to waste people's time. So feel free to ask questions. Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And if you're subscribed to me, YouTube is supposed to be sending out some kind of notice before that premiere, like some kind of, I'll be live in an hour, and then, maybe 10 minutes out, and then the actual premiere. Oh, that's right. I was talking about, we have now today, just today, I don't think there's coincidence in this. 2 couples looking at properties in our area. One of them came from Dallas and the other one came from Indiana. So we don't know how it's going to turn out, but the congregation could be growing again, which is often the way it is in Passover. We don't have any goats, but plan to get them again, but bottle-fed calf. Oh, that's right. Yep. On medicine with herbs, CBD. Okay, so I'm not as familiar with CBD as some people. The people that I know who use it swear by it. And my husband told me it doesn't have the THC or the TCH, whatever makes that plant turn into a drug. And we grew some of that. It's called ditchweed in the area where we used to live. And it smelled bad, but it worked really great for making rope and twine because it's very woody and fibrous. So I don't know if it works medicinally or not because I haven't tried it. An oil that I have tried that works pretty good is tea tree for bacterial things. And because I've got a sinus thing going on, I have been using peppermint oil because the menthol in peppermint helps your lungs and stuff to kind of clear this up. Set apart homestead. Yep. What kind of goats do you want to get? And I know with the bottle-fed calf, but you've got a lot of work on your hands. So get him on grass before you then try to get goats, because it's going to complicate your life a little bit. And Brother Travis said that he's used the CBD and he's gotten mixed results. What is it you'd use it for? Probably meat goats. Okay. If you know the Millennial Man, if you have subscribed to him or anything, I know he and the Neo Hermites will be selling meat goats, the pygmies, later on in the summer when they get a little older. So, depending on when your time frame is that you'd be interested in them, you might want to contact them or contact me or something. And, you'd get a decent price from a brother. Okay, Brother Richard says he has not had any success with the CBD oil. I'm not sure what the CBD oil is supposed to be used for either. I know what lavender oil is used for. I know what like rosemary oil is used for, but I'm not very familiar with it, so I apologize. How about your dogs, Brother Travis? Because I watch your videos when I can, but I don't have a lot of time. Yep, 6-8 acre pastures. Pain, okay. Is it for pain and a sleep aid? I make a whole plant extract. Another really good sleep aid is the Sleepy Time teas. They have a herb in them. It's not sienna. Sienna is for if you're constipated. It starts with a V. I can't remember what it's called, but it's in the Sleepy Time teas, the ones you can buy in the store. And that is a proven over many years. I think it's for Bina or something like that. It will make you sleepy. So will chamomile. Chamomile tea will also make you sleepy. And I'm pretty... I was thinking that there's this tree outside. It gets the pink flowers on it. That's supposed to be good for anxiety, though. So I don't know if that's a sleep aid or not. So, sorry. Mixed up my herbs there. Did you guys get the National Geographic latest edition, the one that is all about herbal remedies? I did a video on that. It's still available. I just bought 3 more from my local grocery store. If you don't have books on herbs, it's a real fast, easy to read, what do you call it? Not a textbook, but a reference book. It's a really good reference. So Yeah. Arnica. Arnica is a skin, like a balm, Arnica. It is really good for pain that's topical, like sort of muscular or strain, things like that. It's not a deep, deep pain. It's not like if you took acetaminophen or something. And pain often is caused by swelling. Like when you twist your ankle, the ligaments and things get an infusion of blood serum, a fluid or water all around the site of the sprain, and so the swelling that it goes there causes a lot of that discomfort. And something like acetaminophen or aspirin, or even where you wrap and then you put ice on something like a sprain, that really it reduces the swelling, which reduces the pain. So what else the young couples buying the properties. It's interesting how the Father works, usually around the feasts. And with Passover coming up, it's the weekend of April 19th. I think the actual day of Passover is a Shabbat this year. Pastor Joe will put more information out on that later. Oh, okay, Pastor, that's right. Valerian. Yeah, I think it might be Valerian. You're right. Oh, look at this. I can scroll. I did not know that. I make a tea for nerve pain and sleep aid. It's a mixture of St. John's wort, skullcap, and oat straw. Yeah, Brother Travis is a little bit more into the herbs than I am. Mimosa, that's the one I was talking about. Weed tree bonsai. Mimosa is a good calmer. Yeah, I just found that out this year. Have you used lion's mane mushroom? I tend to stay away from mushrooms. When we lived in the Pacific Northwest, there was an expert on mushrooms who, like everyone used as a reference, and that woman served a poisonous mushroom to herself and her entire family and killed, the whole bunch of them. And after that, I said, I'm done with mushrooms. I know just the local edible mushroom, and that's the only one I play with. Yeah, okay, mimosa. What are the wild fruit that's growing in my passion fruit? Passion fruit flower is supposed to make a really good tea. I found that out this year, but I haven't dehydrated it yet. Ooh, it's awesome for dementia and tremors, aka Parkinson's. Good to know. Smells great too. And the mimosa that's right outside. I guess I could turn the camera, but I don't want to mess up what I've got going on here. It attracts hummingbirds too. They come in bunches to the flowers of the mimosa. And since I got into hummingbirds last year, I'm very excited by that. I'm very excited by the birds coming back. Lion's mane is what is good for dementia. Okay. Shalom from Detroit, Michigan. How is Detroit? Is it as empty as they say? Is it as abandoned as they say up there? I remember watching a video where a man was doing like his own organic gardening in one of the city blocks where like the businesses were gone and nobody was living there anymore. Is that still true up there in Detroit? What else can we discuss? The planting of the peas. Hang on. I want to read it, and it disappeared. How much is land selling for? Oh, it's never empty. They're lies about your area. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. I appreciate that. Okay, so in our area, land is going, when we first got here, it was affordable. It was $1,500 an acre. The latest sales going on very near to us, $8,000 an acre. A 2-bedroom home that was kind of small that a brother lived in and a lady bought about 3 or 4 years ago was $120K, and she sold it for $150. So land is definitely going up for this area, because someone said still not a bad price. Yeah, depending on where you come from. If you come from California, it's cheap as anything out here. Yep. Brother Richard put up there 5 to 12K in Benton County. It just kind of depends on what the area, the land looks like and what's on it. If it's really rural and agricultural versus if you're near a town and, you know, you're near some amenities, and if it has water and electric hooked up to it and things like that. What else? Well, I've already been on here 20 minutes. I really didn't intend to be much longer. Okay, Said Part Homestead says 3K an acre can still be found for $1,500 an acre. And he's a little bit east of us. He's still sort of, we're in a corridor with some big cities that is attracting attention of people buying property and homes who want to get jobs in the bigger cities. So that's why you can still find cheaper. Wow. Matthew, that's pretty good. Okay. Detroit is bigger than you think, and like any city, there are empty spaces. Yeah, it's a good point. Hey, shalom, Rose of Sharon Homestead. How you doing? Yeah, 45 minutes north of Mountain Home, and Mountain Home is east of us, a couple of hours worth. So land out there is a little bit more affordable. And Brother Chris from Following Yeshua is out that direction too. And there's another brother, I don't know, Travis, if you've met him yet. I should try to contact you all. Jamie. He's a local guy and found Torah, and he's amazing. He really is amazing. He knows how to weld. He knows how to make harnesses for donkeys. He knows how to, you know, train donkeys. He's the one who gifted us with sugar cane and told us how to grow it. I mean, he's just an amazing person, and now he's a paramedic in that area. So he even has medical skills. I mean, yeah, you live in a good spot. Yeah. Set Apart Homestead, do you have contact information for us? You had a blizzard in Wisconsin through last 24 hours. 12-foot drifts? Oh my goodness. Hey, Bruce. Shalom. How are you? Rosa Sharon, can you take a picture and like post it as a comment or something? Send it to my email. Morrigan55@hotmail. That's MORRIGAN 55@hotmail. I would love to see 12-foot drifts. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Do you have all your animals like in a barn together? Am I remembering that correctly? Did you do a video or a comment or something like that? Yeah, having a barn in a situation with 12-foot drifts would probably be the only way for like my little goaties to survive. They wouldn't be all right in the little half-done shelters that I make them. Wow. Don't forget, since you have me online right now, if you have Torah questions, please ask them. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And for all of y'all, do you have your gardens in or plans to do your gardens? Do you have greenhouses? Do you have bedding plants going? Brother Travis, how's your garden or your plans for a garden? What else? What else? Oh yeah, Nadia, it's right now I'm going from one topic to another. I'm trying to do a live practice before I do my premiere on Wednesday, so I know what in the world I'm doing. If you have a topic, Nadia, that you want to talk about, please bring it up. I'd be more than happy to address something. Livestock, off-grid living, solar power, light medical topics. I don't want to talk about the weather. Premiere does not save the chat room. Okay. Started sprouting seeds last week. Awesome. I think we have an option to save the chat room in Premiere. I've never done one, and YouTube suggested it as a thing, so I thought I would do it. Oh, compost. Okay. You have garlic in parts of it. Yeah, we have garlic in our garden, Brother Travis. Okay, compost. Compost is a really good topic. The first compost pile. Wow. Rose of Sharon. Ooh, your poor sheep. The first compost pile we made it in a round, and we did fence. We made a round fence, and then we started putting things inside the fence. And we were living in a suburban setting, but we had a yard and some dogs. And I got the recipe for what to put in the compost from the Reader's Digest Back to Basics book. It's a fantastic reference. I've bought it new for $25, and I've bought it for $1 at a thrift store. It's big, it's yellow, and it says right on it, like, Back to Basics, Reader's Digest. So if you want, if you have that book, it has suggestions on how to do compost in there. And it talks about the bottom layer of it should be limbs, like small limbs. And then they have a system, but it's something like grass clippings, and then stuff off your table, and then a manure layer or a dirt layer, because the manure layer will start eating through, and the whole pile will start resting down to the limb layer, and the limb layer allows some air to come up under it, because compost piles need air and they need to be kept moist. And I think it even suggested, like, you take a pole and you kind of dig it around in the compost pile. Yep, Back to Basics book. Yep, that's the one, Jeannie. We're talking about compost piles from that book. And you let the air go in there too, and you wet it down. Like, every time Pastor would add more grass clippings, we would also put some of the dog droppings, and I would empty my vacuum cleaner into it, and then you put a layer of dirt. So it kind of keeps the heat in and the moisture in. And if you're doing it right, when you put the pole in there to let some air and steam comes out. Oh, you had rattlesnakes. Oh my goodness. Thanks. Bless you. Over to bus. Bless you. Thanks for swinging by. We had mice living in our compost pile. In the winter time, because of the heat that the composting material put off, they would burrow in there. And when he would dig around to let air in, they would jump out. All right, bless you, Brother Richard. Thank you. Yes, Encyclopedia of Country Living is a wonderful, wonderful reference book. You want to have that one too. Carla Emery. She went around to, I think, county fairs and farmers markets and things, and just got all the tidbits from everyone who came to those places, and then compiled it into that encyclopedia. All right, so yeah, your compost pile has to have lots of different things, and it has to have some kind of manure. Now, the Reader's Digest book, you said you could use cat manure or dog manure, horse, duck, etc., etc. Nowadays, people don't recommend the cat thing. Apparently, the cat manure can have a disease in it, and you just never want to use it in your manure piles. But something like horse manure, cow manure, even rabbit manure, probably. Rabbit manure doesn't have as much nitrogen, so it may not be hot enough. But the dog droppings work, because the whole thing breaks down into a soil. And you can put your hair clippings in there. You can put feathers from your birds. The book does a really good job of explaining it all. Have you and Pastor... All right, I'm going to have to pick this up. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't read it because of the sun. Turn to compost once a month. Yep. I don't know if you can use guinea pig droppings. I don't know that you would get enough. Have we ever done worm beds? No, but someone who is here now suggested the worm beds, and I think they'd be a great idea. And I'd like to dehydrate them, because I was buying dried worms to feed my birds, and they love it. So chickens and guineas and ducks and things like that to feed them with. I'm going to let you guys know I'm going to be done in about 5 minutes. I was only going to do this for 20, so I'm not going to stay on, but I appreciate it, and I will be on again for that premiere, and I will try to do some more, not every week, but that more live streams. I just have been so busy and unsure of how to do it. And then my daughter let me know that it's so easy on the YouTube app. So thank you for coming by. You're helping my confidence a lot. Okay, so for people who had the worms, because worms in your compost pile is a sign that your compost pile is healthy. Same thing with your soil. Has anyone done it in a tote bin? Because I've heard people doing worms, like worm beds, whatever you want to call it, in those Rubbermaid bins. Trolls are bad hitting live chats and premieres. All right, I will try. Thank you for the suggestion. If you know how you do moderators, do you mind telling me? Put the compost bin in a small greenhouse, place good soil on top, and grow all winter. Heats itself. That's a good suggestion, too. I need a greenhouse really badly. You've seen my frame. I have a frame ready for it, but I need to do end pieces like doors and things on the end so that the wind won't just blow the plastic right off. Okay, someone had a real bin. WeTree is the best moderator ever. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you very much. Next to the name is the dots, and click the dot to open the menu. Okay. All right, so it says share or mute the microphone. Is that what I'm supposed to be seeing? Shalom, Mr. Kippy. Hello, Grandma Ginger's farm. I wish I knew how to give you a notice of the live stream. If you have the YouTube app, I think it does tell you. All right, bye, Brother Travis. I hope you feel better soon. Have to do it on a CPU or a laptop. And I may have a laptop that night. I'm going to try to use a laptop first, and then if it doesn't work, I'll come out and get on the phone. Okay. Hit the bell to know about live chats. There's a Grandma Ginger's farm. There's a bell on your YouTube page. If you come to my page and look at my videos, there's a bell, and that is the notification bell. The premiere's on Wednesday night at 7. Wednesday night at 7. And we're going to talk about gold. Shalom, Palmetto Paratrooper. You came on just at the last minute. I'm only going to be online for about maybe another minute and a half. This is a practice thing. So I didn't have a topic to talk about. I'm just kind of free-flowing it and trying to get a feel for how this thing works. Are you guys doing okay? Oh, yeah, you're right. He would be. I think so, Matthew. I think it's Central Time. Excellent. Glad to hear that you're doing great. Are you starting to do some gardening, Palmetto? Jeannie's getting buried in snow. So was Rose of Sharon Homestead. She said they had 12-foot drifts. There's a strike through the bell on the app in your phone. That's kind of weird. Just try tapping it anyway. Maybe the strike will disappear. You're busy with renovations. Are you doing videos about them? Are you doing videos about your renovations, Palmetto? Because I'd like to see them. I need to start doing some cleaning up and a little bit of renovating in our avocottage. Hey, Bobby Mojo, good afternoon. Shalom. I just want to let you know I'm only going to be online for about 10 more seconds and then I'm getting off. This was a practice version. Sister Nolt Supply, best cheap price on UV plastics. I have the plastics for the greenhouse already, sister. Thank you. I just need to make the door framing myself. Well, take some pictures, PP, and send them. 23 watching and only 6 likes. Everybody hit the like button. Getting your garden ready. Awesome. Grandma Junior, you had snow too. Oh my goodness. Hey, bye, Jeannie. Appreciate you swinging by. Hope I see you guys later. Thank you for liking it. Appreciate that. I don't want to ring my own bell. But it was nice someone mentioned that. All right, I'm going to get offline now, you guys. Bless you all. Shalom. I really appreciate you coming by. I really appreciate you watching the videos. I wish you peace and just health, just blessings for all of you. Bye, Palmetto. Bless you guys. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you all. Shalom.